Why did I say it's June the 12th? I meant to say June the 2nd, isn't it? What am I doing? Let's just change that. June the 2nd. Jeez. I'll get it right. I'll save that. Holy crap. Well, that didn't save. Whatever. June the 2nd, not June the 12th, 2020. Ah. Okay. So this isn't really about... this is about something to hopefully entertain you. I found this very entertaining, actually. And I don't like people in dismay being, you know, trying to poke fun of or whatever. And I posted. This was a... I don't go on Train Sim that much anymore. I shouldn't say that I do, but there's not much happening. And you know, the stuff that I've created is nothing in comparison. But, so there's a payware DLC shunting switching session. Uses a freeware BR Class 08 shunter with US local sounds and no idea what the cab interior is from. And 3 feet, the pinnacle of excellence in the PC gaming world. So, I don't know what payware this is. I guess this is N3V's payware, we're assuming here. But it uses a freeware shunter, and, well, I mean, I know how to... at this point, I even know how to play around with sessions, so it could easily be swapped out. It's not a big deal. But, you know, that's what it was. I don't know nothing about that particular venture. It's definitely an SW1500 or... aliasing to unsuitable and often ancient cabs and sounds really doesn't help. So, you know, we're talking about dovetail games, Train Sim World. Default algo sounds, blah blah blah. Okay, so I'm just reading. I'm just reading over. I've already read everything. I don't even know what these classes are. They're talking about phones and I don't know what they're talking about. See, they're talking about British stuff, and I really don't know what. Maybe their British content is bad, or some of their payware is bad. Anyways, TRS 19 is once again deleted, so you reinstalled it. Why did you reinstall it? If you delete it, then you reinstall it for. Castle Shunter? I don't know. Whatever. I don't know what that is. So, anyways, I posted a reply on that, but... So, I've heard a lot of horse... Anyways, you want to check the forums out. I'm not going to read it any more than that. This is just kind of a... taking a break, and probably around 10 o'clock I'm going to go back into it, but I won't keep the live stream going because I don't want to bore you guys. But I will give you a quick tour of how the route is looking. It's, you know, I came across when I started in Trainz. Well, first of all, I heard all the warning signs. So when it went on sale for $15, I thought to myself, what's the worst that could happen? I could lose out on $15, the thing could be crap, and then I would have learned my lesson. Had Train Sim World been on sale for that kind of price, I probably would have taken a chance at it if I was able to run it. But I already knew what Train Sim World was, because Train Sim World despite the fact that that was what got me really excited into getting into some more Niagara stuff for me locally. We found very quickly that it was the biggest sham of a route, that it just a lot of massive eye candy and not enough substance, and really not a good representation of what was really happening in the Hamilton region. And I can say that from personally being here. So I would never recommend Train Sim World to anybody. I've never had it, but it's very easy to pull at the strings and say, oh yeah, this is good. You got to know what you're getting yourself into. Any simulation that you get into, or any game program, whatever, it's always buyer beware. Know what you're getting yourself into. I knew what I could potentially get myself into. Scott was having issues. He's had issues in the past. He's still waiting for a sale. He won't go back into it until a sale comes on, and I don't blame him. Because he's had issues before. Now, I had issues before too. But he was, I don't know what some of the issues that he ran across, but of course that's his experience. And I've heard several experiences. I'm not discounting his experience. I'm not discounting these guys' experience over at Train Sim either. And I even posted that in the message. So, but it seems as if one thing that people don't understand, and this isn't being a fanboy, I'm not a paid shill for trains or trying to necessarily defend them, but I will kind of counter what I hear. What I hear, put it this way, what I often heard with Run 8 is everybody praising Run 8 and how great it is. And I agreed with it for many years, and I still to this day, best train simulator on the planet. It still is. There's nothing out there that can beat that as far as a train simulation. But as I got bored with it, and etc., and found that things weren't really progressing, and yes, they're a small team, and they have their issues and all this other stuff, it just it wasn't really appealing. And then I was told, certain things that I was saying that I thought I read on forums about editors and stuff. I was told that it was a figment of my imagination, so apparently I didn't see it, and I can't prove it, and I'm not going to. So I'll just reserve the fact that it's probably a figment of my imagination. But I've also seen stuff on websites that, software development kit. Everybody remembers the software development kit. It was on the website. I don't know what the hell that was supposed to be. If they were against editors or whatever, what the hell's a software development kit? What is that supposed to be? Did they change their mind? I don't know. I have no idea. But there was a lot of things that I was hoping that Run 8 was going to progress itself into. And I seem to have lost a lot of the ability to get into the program and get underneath the hood. As far as, for example, I'm not mechanically inclined whatsoever. So when we're talking about getting under the hood, what I am inclined is basic to moderate, more old school script text based coding. I'm not really into object-oriented programming, although Train's language is object-oriented. However, it's still something I'm capable of figuring out because it's there, it's in front of me, I can deal with it. I'm not a big fan of C, which is more, gets more towards that phase. So the bottom line is, I feel much more comfortable at getting my teeth into the nuts and bolts of what makes a certain asset tick than to get into the mechanical nuts and bolts of a real life mechanical thing like a car or some type of machinery, etc. Because I'm not mechanically inclined, but I am very digitally inclined. So I'm not afraid to make a copy, make a backup, and try things. I'm not afraid. You give me access to something, I'm going to try my best to make it work. If it doesn't work, or if I download an asset and it doesn't, link up, or it has faulty assets to other things, I don't get bent out of shape by that. It's a faulty asset. That means it's a faulty asset. It doesn't work in this version. The thing that I've heard a lot of complaints about as well is that Trainz basically has a newer version, and they haven't really upgraded the game engine any, and nothing's changed. I can't speak on that. I really don't know. All I can speak on is I remember my experience from 2010 to TRS 19, and I can tell you there is a world of difference. I did not have, yes, there probably is some assets that are still around since then. It's a good thing they're working. But on the other side, you have people that complain, well, this is broken, that's broken, this doesn't work in this version anymore because this and that and this. That's really, it's really simple. If you have any type of systems background, which I do, and an IT background, there's something called backwards compatibility. Backwards compatibility is always something that you want to try to achieve, but sometimes is not 100% possible because you have to make changes in the way a file is structured or the way the language is structured to fit in new features. So what happens is it starts out with the initial design. If the initial design didn't have those thoughts in it or room for expansion, then what ends up happening is the initial design was not advanced enough to incorporate changes. So by the time the changes come around, suddenly there's not enough fields, there's not enough characters, there's not enough whatever. You can't call a certain asset. You can't do. There's so many different functions that become obsolete because a new function becomes much more efficient. So you get all these graphics that are much more hype, and graphics aren't my thing. That's one thing that I'm not very efficient at, is graphics in 3D. But or 3D design basically, or building assets as far as those. The assets that I deal with are the coding assets. I like dealing with the nuts and bolts of how the program runs. I let the people who know how to do 3D assets, let them do the 3D assets. There's plenty of them out there. I'd rather get into the nuts and bolts and get them to work. And I might get into some basic animation and stuff like that too. But so right now I have the latest version of Trainz, and I don't have I have a lot of assets that are from previous versions that work perfectly fine. There are certain things that used to work that were well liked that no longer work. I'm fine with that. I accept that. That's the thing. One criticism of 19 I've heard is that there's not enough assets out there for 19, so you don't really see a lot of 19's features in a lot of the content. The problem with that is there's only so much content out there for 19. A lot of it is old assets. So the criticism that often gets put to a company has nothing to do with them. It has to do with the fact that they just haven't created enough assets for it. And it's not up to them to create. It's up to the community to continue to create assets. That's the one thing that they do so well. And I know a difference between this company and, let's say, Maybe Train Sim World. If there's a couple others that just put out a new version every year and do, and it's kind of like the EA Sports model where every year you put out a new version. I don't see it with them because there's not necessarily, there's a lot of people who like Tane. There's a lot of people that like there's a lot of people like 2012 or 2016 or I don't know what version. So they get into those things, they're fine, they're content. And as I was saying in my example, I know there's another version, there's a wish list. I usually avoid conversations with those. And when I'm talking about conversations, what I see on the Train Sim forum, I don't get that much information out of there. I got a little bit to start me, but what really got me into the information is the actual Iran Trains forum. And there's some negativity on there. But you would think that forum is full of negativity. It's not. There are people that are out there that are actually creating things to making things work. There's a lot of people who have a lot of experience. And yes, I understand that there's political reasoning and sore feelings for this and that. I get it. I've been through all that. I understand that. So I don't want to downgrade what somebody feels about a product. It's not me to say. All I'm saying is from a bystander looking at that, I'm thinking to myself, okay, this is all N3V's fault, and this is all this. It's just like, but yet on the same token, they're saying, well, it's the same game engine, nothing changed. Like, what do you want? What do you expect? You got a system. It's either they build it from scratch and there's no backwards compatibility, or they keep the backwards compatibility in so that they have a pool of assets to come from, and at least you can bring in stuff. Yeah, you're not going to get all the features of 19. I don't care about I haven't even gotten to the eye candy of 19, to be quite honest. And that's not why I have 19. I have 19 because it was on sale. And I was able to nab it, and I'm sure newer versions coming out. So this is why there's a push to get to try to get people involved or try to get people into it, because there's probably a new version being developed and is around the corner, from what I understand. Okay, that's fine. I'm still going to be dealing with 19 because that's what I have right now. I have no reason to upgrade to another version. And so, I mean, my only criticism would be is the download station. I wish it would have more information on the version of. I think it does, but it's not very user friendly as far as trying to figure out what version's what. Because I'll see 5 versions of something and I don't know. I usually take the latter one, but half the time I don't even know why it's like that. But for me, it's not a big deal. I'm having the time of my life right now, and there's a lot of people on the forums who are very friendly. I don't see any, I don't see so many kids or whatever, and I don't even read I can't even read all the posts a day. I really can't. And I kind of avoid the negativity, what little negativity I've seen. Most of what I'm seeing is productivity, new stuff, new screenshots. And if these new screens are coming out all the time, people are getting it to work. So if people are getting it to work, then I don't think the problem is the program. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying that some of this payware isn't bad or perfect. There's a lot of issues out there. There's a lot of shortcuts that people will take to try to, they don't know what a cab, they don't have a cab, so they alias something or whatever, or it has a different sound, or the physics are bad, and blah, 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 blah. Yeah, I get it. So, you know, I understand that stuff. Anyways, let me just take you for a quick tour before I end this. I'll show you what I've got built right now. I've been doing screenshots on the forum. I'm not going to take you through any of the development here. I just want to give you guys an update of where I'm at. I am currently just east of Stevensville right now. Whoops, did I already have this loaded up? I think I did. Okay. Did I lose my sound, I wonder? I think I did lose my sound from the last time. So yeah, I'll take you through a nice little view here. I could take you on a spin of the route, or the main line, what we got so far. So, as you can see, we're all the way down to here now. And on the big scheme of things, where we're at, this was a screenshot where I was getting the signal number. This was the last block signal that I put screenshots of. That's on my forum. So you got signal 77. I believe this would be 76 more than likely. This is east. There's a defect detector right there. So we're 7.7 miles away from Black Rock in Buffalo, New York, where it connects to CSX. So this is good, and that's how far I've taken it. So this is perfectly straight. That's the last tab I'm on right there, and that's all I have left. So it's getting there. I mean, tomorrow night I should be able to get, or tomorrow evening before 8 o'clock, I should be able to get. I'm going to do a little bit more actually tonight. I might be able to get to. There's a signal just outside down here, I think. What is it called? What are these locations? Ridgemount. Yeah, I think there's a signal at Ridgemount. Let me just check Ridgemount for a second and see if I can find it. Yeah, there it is. Yeah, so we got, I believe that's a single light. I don't think, yeah, it looks like a single light coming back the other way, even though it's, because you don't get an approach medium going the other way, you get, there used to be an industry right here, Ridgemount Propane, I think it was. But, yeah, so I guess I would have to take it to this one. Unless the signal's over here, but I think it's right here, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, okay. Yeah, so if I want to get to the next block, this is probably what I'm going to work on later tonight, so I'm going to bring it up to Ridgemount, which gives me really on the, that's the last block before Duff, which is at mile 3.0, or milepost 3, I guess you'd call it. So I would have to create 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more to get to Ridgemount, and that will, as you can see, it's a straight line until you get up to here. Then it's a curve. So it's like it's a really good straight section here. But I'll take you for a spin here. I don't know if it's gonna work. Yeah, we'll start from down here. Yeah, it looks like, yeah, I lost the sound here for some reason. Let me close this up for a second. I don't know why my sound's not working. My sound's definitely working. It just, I was listening to some other things, and there we go. Now I hear the music. Okay. Don't want to spend too much time here, so I'll just show you the mainline run and we'll get things going here. So yeah, you get an approach limited no matter which way you set up to come in the next way, but I gotta put the real speed limits in here. I think it's like 55 or 60. See how much mileage of track I have. Yeah, I haven't added any more crossings either. I just want to get the main line in. So that's Stevensville here, Stevensville Road. Not sure which way the junctions are here. Obviously green, so I'll keep going. So might take me into the other side, but I think those are private crossings. But no, look like a line. Oops. Yeah. That's the other thing I need is the whistle posts and all other stuff eventually. So yeah, this block alone is about 3 miles. And no matter which way you go here, this is a limited switch, so you always get red over flashing green over red, or red over flashing yellow. You can get red over flashing green over flashing green too, which might be the case here. It's already locked, so I got to limit it to limited. Okay, now I get the how the junctions work. I was just curious if I can change that, but that's weird. So this is Robbins. Robbins East was the last signal. Limited clear. Wanted a 3-track bridge for there. There's an old line on the right. Unfortunately, it's they have a 4-track bridge, but they don't have a 3-track bridge. They have those hanging ones. I think it looks kind of weird. That's Robbins West coming up. Another high clear. dirt road. Okay. Thought Miller Road was coming up. Oh shit. That ain't it. Okay, no. Yeah, now we're coming up to Miller Road. This used to be straight through, and then this is part of a Y. Of course, that's changed. Gotta level out those little dips here. And this is Jaeger. With the Inco line on the left side. This. Netherby, the old Netherby Diamond, Southern Yard coming up. We'll go that way. Coming up to our 10th mile now. So this should be roughly mile 18. Give or take, I guess. an overpass here. East Main Street. That would lead to the East Main Tunnel. Sorry about that road. Still hard to see the roads. I think the speed limit's a little slower here, but I'm just gonna keep it at 60. Here's Port Robinson West. That was Cambridge, the last one. It's going to be 16 miles. That's just getting to Allenburg. Of course, we're still a little bit beyond that. This is Port Robinson. See how much mainline we actually have here. The Stanford sub. Looks like 17.5, which is pretty good. Yeah, I got some work to do on the levels here. My track has disappeared. Yeah, okay. So anyways, guys, I don't want to bore you anymore with this for now. It's coming up to Toronto, staging there. But, yeah, 17.5 miles. I've got another 8 to go. That'll put me right around the 25 mark, which is pretty good because then the other way it only takes 5 miles to get to Clifton. 5 or 6 miles, I would imagine. This is getting closer to yeah, it's a little bit more than that. I think it's 32, 33, but anyways, that's about it for now. I'm gonna exit this. But hopefully you guys enjoyed that little editorial slash rant slash show off of what I'm doing. 50 minutes, not too bad. So, hope you enjoyed it. Anyways, that's it for now. I don't know if I'm going to get back to work tonight. I think I deserve a break. I'm having fun, so I'm enjoying the fruits of my labor, enjoying Trainz so far. It's been a good ride. But as you can see, if you check my forum out, I've been doing screenshots like crazy, so I don't think I'm going to get to any more tonight. I'll probably work on the last part. I got a funny feeling it's going to be up by the weekend, but I'm going to work on up to the I can't think of the place, the next intermediate signal. Do that tomorrow. So, but anyways, yeah, Thank you. So that's it for now, guys. So hopefully I'll have some more. Yeah, if you want to see more content, let me know, because like I said, I don't want to overdo it. So, but sometimes I feel like relaxing and enjoying and just showing off. So, so I'm quite proud of what it's happened so far, even though it's not graphically intense or anything. It's been a lot of work. It's been a lot of fun. So, it's only going to get better from here. So, anyways, guys, have a good one. We'll talk to you later.